Sometimes you just gotta hang it up and go a different direction. I've never told this story before, but I'm gonna try to tell it now because I think it's a pretty interesting story based on all the questions I got over the last 5 years. Why did Kistler, me, quit buying and using the North Fork Composite blanks by Gary Loomis? Well, the reason is about that long, maybe 15 different reasons that accumulated over the year 2020. And so I was married to my old buddy Gary Loomis and just supported him. And then he was bought out by another guy, which I won't mention his name. Used to be a good friend. And I see that was 2009 when I started using his blanks, but he was bought out around 2019. And so it got to be, one of the biggest reasons was the new owner says, I can't supply you enough blanks. Or actually, he wouldn't supply me enough blanks per week to keep my business growing. He wanted to stifle, he wanted to limit our success. And so he would only ship us so many rods or blanks a week. And every week I was on the phone begging for some blanks. And then we'd get them, I'd go through them, and literally one batch, I'd have a high defect rate. The next batch might be okay. So that was costing us production and hurting our sales. Oh man, there's a bunch of reasons, but I needed to diversify instead of being married to one company. You remember during COVID, um, North Fork almost was shut down, being in Washington State. And luckily they were able to stay open. But if they were shut down, guess what? Kistler was out of business. That's right. I wouldn't have had any suppliers. And so I promised me and my team that I'd get diversified. And so I went out looking for the best carbon factories around the world and found one in Korea, one in China, and another one in Oregon. And I was also looking for other American made factories, but there there's really not any that'll sell to a big company like me. And so for those reasons and many other ones, I had to pull the plug. And man, it just shocked the guys up there, the new owner, and they turned on me, man. It was sad. It was sad. It was a thing that I thought they would appreciate and understand and respect. Nope, they badmouthed me and defamed me, but we just had to do it. Now look at us. We've got diversification with blank companies, guide companies, railseat companies, cork manufacturers around the world. And so it's a peace of mind that I didn't have. And I'll never marry to one company anymore, no matter how good a friend I thought they were. So that's a little story that I wanted to get off my chest because everybody's been wondering, and they've also been saying, they cut us off. I was their largest customer. Maybe that's why they were upset. I kept them in business. Kiss the Rods was the reason they stayed in business for so many years because I put up with them. I was loyal. I helped them through the hard times. What thanks do I get? Not much from the new owner.